Vishwanathan Anand baits and traps the queen and the rook of Garry Kasparov in this match. Anand is playing with the white pieces here, and Garry Kasparov is playing with the black pieces. So this is a Sicilian on the board, and after d6, d4 is played by Anand, attacking the Sicilian pawn, and after the c pawn captures the d4 pawn, knight captures back, and knight to f6 is played. Knight to c3 by Kasparov, and a6 now making this the Sicilian defense nudged off variation on the board, and pawn push to f4 now allowing you to attack on the king side of the Sicilian king. Once it's castle, e6 now, and bishop to d3 now, developing bishop and also allowing you to castle on the king side. Knight to d7 now, and now another castles on the uh, king side, and queen to b6 now attacking this b2 pawn, which is defended by the bishop. So bishop now goes to e3, leaving the b2 pawn unattended, and it's basically a poison pawn. It's a trap, and also this bishop is placed as an extra attack on the queen as well. So the queen got to move, and Kasparov accepts that pawn and takes queen to b2. And now Anand plays a classic move, knight to b5 here, allowing the capture of this knight with your pawn. So once this knight is captured by the pawn, the knight captures it back, which basically prevents any retreating squares for this particular queen once it's attacked by the rook. So rook of Kasparov comes to a5 and attack the knight, and Anand just ignores that attack and brings his rook to b1 and attacks the knight. So as you can see, this queen cannot go back, it cannot capture it, the queen will capture back, and these squares are actually taken away by the knight and these pawns, and the only thing you can do is to capture this a2 pawn. And even if you do with your a2 pawn like this, the knight will jump in here, and after this your queen is trapped again because there is no other squares. These squares are covered by the knight and by the queen and by the rook, and these squares are again covered by the rook and the bishop as well. So because of that, from this position it's best to capture this knight, and after the rook captures the queen, the rook captures back. So now actually material wise you got two pieces and a rook for the queen, which is not bad, and but this doesn't stop. The queen comes to a1 here, attacking this rook, which again do not have any other good squares for it to go, because these two squares are taken away by the bishops. They cannot go here, and the only square is here, rook to b4, and even then this queen can come here, create a double attack, and you will be down by a piece. So instead of doing that, Kasparov played rook to b6 here, giving the protection of the rook with this knight. So once the bishop captures the rook, the knight captures back, and material wise, point wise, it's an equal position, but Anand is already slightly up in the game, and the queen comes to c3, and after that bishop to e7 now, trying to get the king castle off from activity for the rook, and knight to d7 by Kasparov, protecting the knight with the other knight, and which allows the capture of the g7 pawn with the queen attacking the rook, and the bishop comes to f6 attacking the queen and also supporting the rook at the same time, and queen goes to h6 over here, and now the king goes to e7, comparatively safer square. A better move would be to bring your rook over here to g8 and create a counter attack on the king, but Kasparov didn't go for that, and instead he played the king move, and after that bishop to b5 by Anand. A better move would be to push the pawn to g4 and keep pushing the pawn and start attacking again, but rook now comes to g8, a move late, but a better move would be to push the pawn over here to e5 and a counter attack, and rook now comes to d1, rook of Anand, and now the pawn push to e5 is played, but now a better position would be to bring your knight over here to c5, because this the knight on b6 is not under any threat right now, so it's best to bring this over here. But instead of that, e5 is played, and Anand didn't go for the capture, and he pushes f5 now, and now knight to c5 is played. And basically Kasparov here is late by one move in this particular match. Now rook captures this d6 pawn. So if you're wondering what will happen if this king captures this rook, I'll show you what will happen. But here this capture didn't happen, and instead this bishop move was played. So if you capture with the king like this, the bishop will be gone, and after the king moves over here, this pawn will be gone, and after the king moves away, you will also lose one more piece. So a pawn and two minor pieces for a rook is a good trade actually. So because of that, Kasparov didn't go for that. His queen is already off the table, so he cannot go for such a capture. He plays bishop to g5 over here, and now this queen captures this h7 pawn, attacking the rook and also attacking. And this rook is also Anand's rook is also attacking the knight over here, and now it's a double attack. And if you allow the capture of this rook and go greedy and capture the uh, you know uh, the rook like this, after you capture this particular rook, your bishop is again under attack, and it could create more attacking opportunity. So because of that, knight goes and captures the e4 pawn, which also supports the particular bishop. And after this, Anand goes and captures this knight, and a better move. It's the best move, but because this creates a forking opportunity for the bishop with a check, but Kasparov's rook is also hanging, so he brings his rook to d8, and now if the check happens like this, there is a checkmate opportunity here because the knight covers this escape square, and the bishop will have to come in here. Then if the bishop comes here in a check, you'll have to move your king, and after that, this bishop will be captured and the game will be over. So because of that, bishop to d3 is played, preventing this rook from coming here to d1 and also attacking this knight. So now this allows the bishop to come here to e3 and a check, and king moves to f1. After that, this rook is captured, and now this allows the capture of the knight, and after which the rook comes to d4 and Anand just plays c3 and Kasparov resigns the match. Because if you capture the rook captures the bishop, there's a discovered attack with a check, and this rook will be gone, and you're in an endgame with two bishops against a queen, and with another pawn up, it's game over for Kasparov. So because of that, he resigned as of this position, and Anand won this match. So it's normally Kasparov is the one who wins in the matches against Anand, but in this match it happened on the opposite way. So thanks very much for watching. We'll be back with more such videos.